Close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself a simple question. Who are you becoming every single day? Not who you want to be one day, not who you were yesterday, but who you are shaping right now through your thoughts, your habits, and your actions. Life is not waiting for you to be ready. Time is not slowing down. Every day is training. Every moment is practice. And whether you are aware of it or not, you are becoming something. The question is, are you becoming by choice or by default? To become the best version of yourself, you must first understand this truth. Growth is an internal process. The world outside will always be noisy. Opinions will come and go. Praise will inflate you and criticism will try to break you. If your foundation is external, you will always be unstable. Strength begins when you turn inward and take responsibility for your own mind. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. It is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Most people live their entire lives in reaction. Something happens outside and immediately something explodes inside. A word is spoken and the mind answers before wisdom arrives. An event occurs and the body moves before awareness steps in. This is how energy is lost. This is how regret is created. This is how people say things they cannot take back and make choices they later do not understand. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you must learn one essential skill before all others. Awareness before reaction. Awareness means you see what is happening without becoming it. A thought appears, but you do not immediately believe it. An emotion rises, but you do not let it take control. A challenge comes, but you pause before you act. This pause is power. In that small space between stimulus and response, your entire future is decided. Without awareness, you are controlled by habits. With awareness, you begin to choose. Understand this clearly. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the one who observes them. When anger appears, most people say, "I am angry." That sentence already shows the problem. They've identified with the emotion. Instead, say, "Anger is present. Now there is distance. Now there is control." Awareness creates separation, and separation creates freedom. Training awareness is daily work. It begins with attention. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. If your attention is scattered, your energy is weak. If your attention is steady, your mind becomes sharp. Start with simple things. Notice your breath. Notice how your body feels when you wake up. Notice how your thoughts change when you are tired, hungry, or stressed. This is not philosophy. This is observation. Through observation, you learn your own patterns. When you know your patterns, you stop being surprised by yourself. You know what triggers you. You know what weakens you. You know what strengthens you. And once you know, you can prepare. You can slow down before speaking. You can step back before reacting. You can choose silence instead of noise. This is not suppression. This is mastery. Many people believe reacting fast means being strong. In reality, reacting fast often means being unconscious. Strength is the ability to remain calm when everything around you is trying to pull you into chaos. Strength is responding with clarity instead of reacting with emotion. The calm mind sees more. The calm mind decides better. Awareness also means honesty. You must be willing to see yourself without excuses. Notice how often the ego wants to defend. Notice how often the mind wants to blame. Notice how often you want to appear right instead of doing what is right. These moments are mirrors. They show you where you are still asleep. Do not judge yourself, just observe. Judgment closes the mind. Observation opens it. As awareness grows, discipline becomes easier. Why? Because you clearly see the consequences of your actions. You see how one small reaction can ruin an entire day. You see how one calm response can save years of struggle. Awareness turns wisdom into a living experience. You do not need motivation when you clearly see cause and effect. When awareness comes before reaction, your relationships change. You listen more. You speak less. You respond with intention. You stop needing to win every argument. You stop taking everything personally. Peace begins to appear not because life becomes easier, but because you become stronger internally. This practice requires patience. You will fail. You will react. You will forget. That is part of training. Each time you notice you reacted without awareness, that noticing itself is awareness. Do not be discouraged. Return to the practice again and again. This is how the mind is trained. Awareness before reaction is the foundation. Without it, discipline collapses, consistency breaks, simplicity is lost, responsibility is avoided. But with it, everything else becomes possible. Master this first and the rest will follow naturally. Many people wait to feel ready before they act. They wait for motivation to appear like a sudden wave of energy that will carry them forward. But motivation is unreliable. It comes when life is comfortable and disappears when effort is required. If you build your life around motivation, you will live inconsistently. Some days you move forward, many days you stay stuck. This is why discipline is more important than motivation. Discipline is not about forcing yourself with anger or pressure. Discipline is clarity. It is knowing what must be done and doing it regardless of how you feel. Feelings change, the mission does not. The body may be tired, the mind may complain. Discipline listens but does not obey. It acts from intention, not emotion. Understand this deeply. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. When you sit and wait, nothing grows. When you move, energy awakens. One small disciplined action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence fuels motivation. But the first step is always discipline. Discipline begins with structure. You remove unnecessary decisions from your day. You wake up at the same time, you train at the same time, you work at the same time. This creates rhythm. The mind feels safe in rhythm. When the mind feels safe, it stops resisting. This is why routine is freedom, not restriction. Most resistance is mental. The body is capable of more than the mind believes. The mind seeks comfort because comfort feels familiar. Discipline gently pushes you beyond that boundary, not aggressively, consistently. You do not need extreme effort. You need repeated effort. Small discipline done daily is more powerful than intense effort done occasionally. Discipline is also about saying no. No to distractions. No to excuses. No to things that drain your energy. Every yes costs you something. Every no protects your focus. Focus is a form of respect toward your future self. When you protect your focus, you protect your growth. There will be days when nothing feels right. On those days, discipline matters most. Those are the days that shape your character. Anyone can act when they feel inspired. Very few act when they feel uncomfortable. That is why discipline separates those who wish from those who become. Do not confuse discipline with harshness. You can be disciplined and kind. You can rest without quitting. You can adjust without abandoning the path. Discipline is not rigidity. It is commitment. Commitment to show up again and again, even when progress feels slow. When discipline becomes part of your identity, life becomes simpler. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop debating every action. You just do what needs to be done. This saves mental energy. That energy can then be used to learn, to improve, to refine. Over time, discipline creates trust. You trust yourself because you keep your word to yourself. This trust builds inner confidence, not loud confidence, quiet confidence, the kind that does not heed approval, the kind that remains stable when challenges appear. Discipline also strengthens awareness. When you act consistently, you notice results clearly. You see what works and what does not. You learn faster. You correct earlier. Discipline turns life into training. In the beginning, discipline feels heavy. Later, it feels natural. Eventually, it feels like freedom. Because when you are disciplined, your life is no longer controlled by mood, circumstances, or external pressure. You move with direction. Remember, motivation is a visitor. Discipline is a companion. Walk with discipline and you will not depend on how you feel to decide who you become. Many people overestimate what they can change in a single day and underestimate what they can become through small actions repeated over time. They chase big moments and dramatic transformations while ignoring the quiet power of consistency. But character is not built in intensity. Character is built in repetition. What you do every day shapes who you become. Consistency is the bridge between intention and identity. You may have clear goals and strong values, but without consistent action, they remain ideas. When action is repeated, it becomes habit. When habit is repeated, it becomes character. This is why consistency matters more than talent, intelligence, or even motivation. The mind often seeks variety because variety feels exciting, but growth requires boredom. Growth requires doing the same simple things again and again, even when they no longer feel exciting. Training the body, training the mind, returning to the practice. Consistency trains patience, and patience strengthens awareness. Every small action sends a message to the mind. When you show up today, you tell yourself, I am reliable. When you show up tomorrow, you reinforce that message. Over time, the mind begins to trust you. This trust is powerful. A mind that trusts itself stops creating resistance. It works with you, not against you. Consistency also simplifies life. When actions are consistent, decisions become fewer. You do not waste energy asking whether you should train or work or focus. You already decided. This clarity creates calm. Calm improves performance. Performance builds confidence. Many people quit, not because something is too hard, but because progress is slow. Consistency teaches you to respect the process. You learn to value direction over speed. A slow step taken daily will always defeat a fast step taken occasionally. Life rewards persistence, not urgency. When consistency is missing, emotions take control. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel weak. Your actions rise and fall with your mood. This creates chaos. Consistency creates stability. Stability creates growth. Consistency does not mean perfection. You will miss days. You will fall behind. What matters is returning quickly. Do not turn one missed day into a broken habit. One mistake does not erase progress. Abandoning consistency does. Consistency also reveals truth. When you practice regularly, weaknesses become visible. You cannot hide behind excuses. You see clearly where you lack skill, where you lack discipline, where you lack focus. This honesty accelerates growth. Through consistency, you develop endurance. Endurance of the body and endurance of the mind. You learn to stay present when things feel repetitive. This ability carries into every area of life. Relationships, work challenges, personal struggles. You stop escaping discomfort and start working through it. Consistency aligns with simplicity. You do not need complex systems. You need simple actions done daily. When life becomes complicated, consistency brings you back to basics. Breathe, train, focus, rest, repeat. Over time, consistency shapes your identity. You no longer try to be disciplined, focused, or calm. You simply are. Others may call it talent. You will know it is practice. Consistency builds quiet strength. Strength that does not depend on applause or recognition. Strength that continues even when no one is watching. This is true character. Remember, the person you become is the sum of what you repeatedly do. Choose your daily actions wisely and let consistency do the rest. Modern life teaches you to add more. More goals, more noise, more opinions, more possessions. The mind becomes crowded, and when the mind is crowded, focus disappears. Power is not found in adding. Power is found in removing. Simplicity creates focus. When too many things demand your attention, none of them receive your best energy. The mind jumps from one thought to another without depth. This creates exhaustion, not progress. Simplicity brings the mind back to one direction, one task, one intention, one moment. Focus is not something you force. Focus is a result of clarity. When you know what matters, distractions lose their strength. When you do not know what matters, everything feels important. Simplicity helps you decide what is essential, what is unnecessary, what is noise. Begin by simplifying your goals. Too many goals create confusion. Choose fewer goals and commit fully. Depth always defeats breadth. One skill trained deeply is more powerful than many skills trained lightly. When you concentrate your energy, it multiplies. Simplicity also applies to your daily life. Observe what drains your energy. Endless scrolling, constant comparison, unnecessary conversations. These things scatter the mind. Remove them gradually. You do not need to cut everything at once. Awareness first, reduction next. The body also responds to simplicity. Simple training done consistently builds strength. Complicated routines create dependency. When things are simple, you can return to them even on difficult days. This is how discipline is protected. Simplicity is often misunderstood as weakness. In truth, it requires courage. Letting go of excess means letting go of identity. People attach themselves to complexity to feel important. But clarity does not need decoration. It speaks quietly and directly. When the mind is simple, awareness sharpens. You notice more. You react less. You see situations as they are, not as you fear them to be. This clarity improves decision-making. Decisions made from clarity save time, energy, and regret. Simplicity creates space. In that space, creativity appears, insight appears, calm appears. Without space, the mind cannot breathe. Silence is not empty. Silence is full of information. But you can only hear it when noise is reduced. This also affects relationships. When you simplify expectations, communication improves. You listen more deeply. You speak with intention. You stop needing to impress. Presence becomes your strength. A simple life does not mean an easy life. It means a focused life. Challenges remain, but they are faced one at a time. Focus transforms difficulty into training. As simplicity grows, consistency becomes natural. Awareness becomes steady. Discipline becomes lighter. Everything supports everything else. Remove what distracts you and protect what strengthens you. Focus will return, and with it your power. Many people believe freedom means doing whatever they want, whenever they want. But this idea creates the opposite of freedom. It creates dependency on mood, desire, and circumstance. True freedom comes from responsibility. The moment you take full responsibility for your life, your mind becomes clear and your path becomes strong. Responsibility means you stop waiting. You stop blaming. You stop hoping someone or something will change your situation. You understand that where you are now is the result of past actions, whether conscious or unconscious. This is not guilt. This is power. Because once you accept responsibility, you gain the ability to change direction. When responsibility is avoided, the mind looks for excuses. Lack of time, lack of support, lack of luck. These stories protect the ego but weaken the person. Responsibility removes these stories. It replaces them with action. What can I do now? What is within my control? What is the next step? Taking responsibility also strengthens awareness. You observe your reactions and see their impact. You notice patterns that repeat. You realize that many struggles are not caused by others but by untrained responses. This realization is uncomfortable but necessary. Discomfort is the price of growth. Responsibility creates discipline naturally. When you know your actions matter, you act with care. You train even when tired. You speak with intention. You choose long-term benefit over short-term comfort. This is not pressure. This is respect for your own potential. Freedom appears when your life is no longer controlled by external triggers. If someone can control your emotions, they control your actions. Responsibility brings that control back to you. You decide how to respond. You decide how to use your time. You decide what deserves your energy. Responsibility also simplifies life. You stop arguing with reality. You accept what is and work from there. Acceptance is not surrender. It is clarity. From clarity, effective action becomes possible. Many fear responsibility because it removes excuses. Without excuses, there is nowhere to hide. But there is also no limit. When you own your life, progress accelerates. You learn faster because you stop repeating the same mistakes. You adapt because you are honest with yourself. Responsibility builds inner strength. You become reliable to yourself. You trust your decisions because you stand behind them. This trust creates calm confidence, not arrogance, stability. When responsibility becomes part of your identity, you stop seeking validation. You measure yourself by effort, not outcome. You know that results will come if the process is respected. Responsibility also improves relationships. You listen without defensiveness. You communicate without blame. You handle conflict with maturity. This earns respect without demanding it. True freedom is not absence of duty. It is mastery of self. When you take responsibility for your mind, your actions, and your direction, you are no longer a victim of circumstance. You become the creator of your path. Accept responsibility fully and freedom will follow. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid pain. They run from discomfort, distract themselves from struggle, and numb anything that feels heavy. But pain does not disappear when you avoid it. It waits. And when it returns stronger. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is a teacher. Every form of growth carries discomfort. The body grows through strain. The mind grows through challenge. The spirit grows through hardship. When pain appears, it is signaling that something is being tested, something is changing, something is asking for attention. If you listen, pain guides. If you resist, pain controls you. There are two kinds of pain, the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. One strengthens you, the other weakens you. Most people choose regret because it feels easier in the moment. Discipline hurts now but protects the future. Regret feels light now but becomes heavy later. Pain exposes weakness. This is valuable information. When training becomes difficult, you see where the body is unprepared. When pressure increases, you see where the mind loses control. These moments are not failures, they are lessons. Pain reveals what needs work. Avoiding pain keeps you the same. Facing pain changes you. When you remain present in discomfort, you discover that it does not last forever. You learn that you are stronger than the sensation. This realization builds confidence that cannot be given by praise or success. Pain also humbles you. It strips away ego and forces honesty. When things are easy, the ego speaks loudly. When pain arrives, the ego becomes silent. In that silence, truth appears. You see what truly matters. You see what is unnecessary. You see who you really are without comfort. Through pain, awareness deepens. You become attentive to the body, to the breath, to the mind. You learn to respond instead of panic. This calm within difficulty is a powerful skill. It transfers into life. Work, stress, relationship, conflict, uncertainty. You stay grounded. Pain teaches patience. Growth does not happen instantly. Healing does not happen instantly. Strength does not arrive instantly. Pain teaches you to stay with the process without rushing the outcome. This patience strengthens discipline and consistency. Pain also teaches compassion. When you understand struggle, you judge others less. You listen more. You respond with understanding instead of reaction. Your strength becomes balanced with humanity. Many quit when pain appears because they believe it means something is wrong. Often it means something is right. It means you are leaving comfort. It means the training has begun. Learn to distinguish destructive pain from constructive pain. One damages, the other develops. Constructive pain comes with awareness. You feel it, but you remain present. You breathe. You observe, you adjust. This transforms pain into progress. Without awareness, pain becomes suffering. Awareness turns pain into instruction. Pain reminds you of impermanence. Every sensation rises and falls. Knowing this helps you endure difficulty without losing clarity. You stop identifying with pain. You let it pass through you without defining you. When pain is accepted, discipline strengthens. Consistency becomes meaningful. Simplicity becomes necessary. Responsibility becomes natural. Everything aligns. Do not fear pain. Respect it. Learn from it. Use it to refine yourself. When pain arrives, meet it with awareness, and it will show you the way forward. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid pain. They run from discomfort, distract themselves from struggle, and numb anything that feels heavy. But pain does not disappear when you avoid it. It waits. And when it returns stronger. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is a teacher. Every form of growth carries discomfort. The body grows through strain. The mind grows through challenge. The spirit grows through hardship. When pain appears, it is signaling that something is being tested, something is changing, something is asking for attention. If you listen, pain guides you. If you resist, pain controls you. There are two kinds of pain, the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. One strengthens you, the other weakens you. Most people choose regret because it feels easier in the moment. Discipline hurts now but protects the future. Regret feels light now but becomes heavy later. Pain exposes weakness. This is valuable information. When training becomes difficult, you see where the body is unprepared. When pressure increases, you see where the mind loses control. These moments are not failures, they are lessons. Pain reveals what needs work. Avoiding pain keeps you the same. Facing pain changes you. When you remain present in discomfort, you discover that it does not last forever. You learn that you are stronger than the sensation. This realization builds confidence that cannot be given by praise or success. Pain also humbles you. It strips away ego and forces honesty. When things are easy, the ego speaks loudly. When pain arrives, the ego becomes silent. In that silence, truth appears. You see what truly matters. You see what is unnecessary. You see who you really are without comfort. Through pain, awareness deepens. You become attentive to the body, to the breath, to the mind. You learn to respond instead of panic. This calm within difficulty is a powerful skill. It transfers into life. Work stress, relationship conflict, uncertainty. You stay grounded. Pain teaches patience. Growth does not happen instantly. Healing does not happen instantly. Strength does not arrive instantly. Pain teaches you to stay with the process without rushing the outcome. This patience strengthens discipline and consistency. Pain also teaches compassion. When you understand struggle, you judge others less, you listen more. You respond with understanding instead of reaction. Your strength becomes balanced with humanity. Many quit when pain appears because they believe it means something is wrong. Often it means something is right. It means you are leaving comfort. It means the training has begun. Learn to distinguish destructive pain from constructive pain. One damages, the other develops. Constructive pain comes with awareness. You feel it, but you remain present. You breathe, you observe, you adjust. This transforms pain into progress. Without awareness, pain becomes suffering. Awareness turns pain into instruction. Pain reminds you of impermanence. Every sensation rises and falls. Knowing this helps you endure difficulty without losing clarity. You stop identifying with pain. You let it pass through you without defining you. When pain is accepted, discipline strengthens. Consistency becomes meaningful. Simplicity becomes necessary. Responsibility becomes natural. Everything aligns. Do not fear pain. Respect it. Learn from it. Use it to refine yourself. When pain arrives, meet it with awareness, and it will show you the way forward. Destiny is not something waiting for you in the future. Destiny is something you create quietly every day. It is shaped not by dramatic decisions, but by small repeated actions. Daily practice shapes destiny. Many people believe they need a perfect plan before they begin. They wait for clarity, confidence, or certainty. But clarity comes from movement, not waiting. Daily practice creates clarity. When you practice every day, you learn through experience. Experience removes doubt. Practice means showing up even when nothing feels special, especially then. The days that feel ordinary are the days that build you. Anyone can act when inspired. Very few act when the mind is bored or resistant. That is why daily practice is rare and powerful. Daily practice trains awareness. When you repeat an action regularly, you become sensitive to detail. You notice subtle changes in your body, in your mind, in your energy. This sensitivity improves quality. You stop rushing, you refine. Practice also strengthens discipline. It removes negotiation. There is no question of whether you will do the work. You already decided. This decision frees mental space. The mind becomes quiet. Focus deepens. Through daily practice, consistency becomes identity. You are no longer someone who tries, you are someone who trains, you are someone who practices. This identity shift is important. Behavior follows identity. Daily practice does not need to be long, it needs to be honest. 10 minutes of focused effort is more powerful than hours of distracted work. Quality builds mastery. Mastery comes from attention. Practice also teaches humility. When you practice daily, you see how much there is to learn. This keeps the ego small and the mind open. An open mind grows faster. There will be days when progress feels invisible. This is normal. Growth happens beneath the surface before it appears externally. Trust the process. Daily practice accumulates even when results are not immediately visible. Daily practice builds resilience. When challenges appear, you already have structure. You already have habits that support you. You do not collapse under pressure because your foundation is strong. Practice also connects all other principles. Awareness guides practice. Discipline sustains it. Consistency stabilizes it. Simplicity keeps it focused. Responsibility makes it honest. Pain refines it. Destiny is not decided in one moment. It is decided in thousands of small moments. How you breathe, how you train, how you respond, how you return after failure. When daily practice becomes non-negotiable, your life begins to align. Direction replaces confusion. Purpose replaces distraction. Strength replaces doubt. Do not look for transformation. Commit to practice. Over time, practice will transform you. As you step away from these words, remember this. Your life is shaped not by chance, but by choice. Awareness gives you control. Discipline gives you direction. Consistency gives you strength. Simplicity gives you focus. Responsibility gives you freedom. Pain gives you wisdom. Daily practice gives you destiny. Nothing here is distant or unreachable. It is all available in this moment through how you think, how you act, and how you return to the path again and again. Do not rush the journey. Walk it with patience and commitment. Some days will test you. Some days will humble you. Every day will teach you if you are willing to listen. Stay honest with yourself. Stay steady in your practice. Become better quietly and let your growth speak for you. I wish you strength on difficult days, clarity in confusing moments, and discipline when motivation fades. Good luck on your path to becoming the best version of yourself, and thank you for listening.